The electric bike we're checking out today was tailor-made for teenagers. Or frankly, just anyone who just wants a well-built, stylish e-bike that doesn't need to go 40 miles an hour. Today we're gonna take a close look at the brand new Macfox X7. And right after that, I'm gonna be taking it outside for a spin where I'll put it through all of these real-world tests. My goal for the video is simple: to give you guys as much information on this bike as possible so that you can make an educated decision when it comes time to buying your next e-bike. Or an absolute banger of a present for that special teenager in your life. Spoiler alert, I liked it so much, I even ordered a second one to make some awesome presents of my own. Just check this thing out. This bike looks so cool. Why don't we take a quick minute and just stare at it? Cue the B-roll. Okay, let's start by checking the fit on this thing. For reference, I'm 5'9", and I got the X7 model. They do, however, have a second frame size, which is a little bit taller. This one has a nice low standover, and the larger one is a couple inches higher. So if the rider's gonna be 6 foot and above, you're probably gonna wanna get the bigger version. This is the one with the lower standover. Planted on the ground, flat-footed, no problem. And the sitting position on this thing feels great. Perfectly upright, ready to cruise. Man, everything looks so buttoned up on this bike. Really nice. And check this out. The seat is so long, you can sit up here and have a ton of room here for a passenger. You even get foot pegs here in the back. So there you go. Your passenger can put their feet on the pegs, have lots of room here in the back. You can be up front, butt to nuts, no problems. Very, very nice. Let's check out the rest of the bike. So the X7 rolls on a set of 20-inch diameter, super beefy and meaty tires. The rear tire is 5 inches wide, and the front tire is a little bit slimmer at 4.5 inches. But look at how much rubber you actually get on these tires. Even if you run over something sharp, getting a flat with tires like this is gonna be near impossible. And with this tread pattern, these are perfect to get the ultimate grip on the road. Next, let's take a look at the drivetrain, or lack thereof. This is as simple as it gets. All it is back here is a little chain tensioner. You get a guard here so your tensioner is nicely protected. Super simple, single gear in the back. And up front, you get a medium-sized chain ring. It's protected on both sides, so it's never gonna fall off. You get some generic cranks and plastic pedals. So the X7 is a hardtail frame, so there's no suspension in the back. This is great if you want a bike that you don't have to maintain. There's no moving parts back here, no suspension to service every year. Nice, simple, sturdy frame that'll just go forever. Oh, and check this out. There's a few bolts back here so that you can buy the rack that Macfox makes. It'll hang right here behind the seat, and then you can put a basket or hang some bags over it. I'll post a picture up on the screen and you guys can check it out on their website. And the other thing you get back here is a set of folding pegs. If you're gonna ride by yourself, you tuck them away, and if you have a passenger on board, you put them down so they got a place to rest their feet. There's also a brake light back here so you get extra visibility at night and during the day when you're stopping, as well as the frame extends here, giving you a little bit of a handle when you're moving the bike in the garage. This is so handy to have. Trust me. Take a look at this big, cushy bench seat. You know the big, long banana seat BMX bikes we used to ride as kids? But this is a way cooler version our kids get to ride nowadays. Moving up into the frame, here's where the battery sits. This is a 13 amp hour battery. There's an on-off switch here, a USB charger to charge your phone or any accessories, as well as a charging port for the battery. The battery can be charged on or off the bike. It's entirely up to you. And if 13 amp hours is not enough, you can get this bike in a dual battery version. The second battery mounts right here under the seat. Oh, and check this out. There's even a couple of screws here so you can mount a water bottle or a bag or any accessories that you think would fit right here. Here's a shot of the front suspension fork. It's a triple crown setup, which makes it super strong and very safe. It's got a decent amount of travel, and you get compression settings here on the right and preload adjustment here on the left. So here's a shot of the front headlight. Looks like it's built into kind of a number plate type of design. You get some LEDs on the top and bottom, as well as a low and high beam for your main light. We'll turn this on in just a sec, but first, let's take a look at the controls. Okay, the setup is super simple. You get a nice set of beefy grips with a lock-on collar. You get your hydraulic disc brake lever here, as well as a thumb throttle. And on the left, the setup's just as simple. Nice big beefy grip with the lock-on collar, your hydraulic brake lever. Here's the remote for your lights, low and high beam, as well as an on-off button for your light. And then right here's your screen. You get a plus and minus button to go up and down your pedal assist modes, as well as a power button right here in the middle. Let's turn this on, see what it looks like. Okay, just gonna hold the power button. Here we go. It's nice and simple and white on black, so it should be super simple to see in the bright sun or at night. You get your speedometer here in miles or kilometers an hour. You get your pedal assist modes here, so if we click the plus button, you can go up to pedal assist number 3, so there's 3 different power modes, as well as 0 if you feel like pedaling the bike without any power assist. You get a battery meter down here, as well as some information here at the bottom. So if we click the power button, we should be able to cycle through odometer, trip, voltage. Oh, this is nice. This is the exact voltage that's left in the battery. That's pretty handy. And then back to our odometer. Very nice. Let's see how fast we can spin the wheel without any weight on it. There you go. I got 24.9 miles an hour. So let's call it 25 miles an hour. Working our way up, taking a look at the handlebars. They're BMX style with a nice big tall riser. And they have a nice short stem here, which brings them nice and up close to you. They've got a little bit of a back sweep and they feel really nice and wide, so they'll be super sturdy on the road. Very nice feeling bars. Let's take a look at the brakes. Here's a close-up of the hydraulic disc brakes you get on the Macfox X7. Looks like they're 4-piston calipers biting onto 180 mil rotors, and these rotors are thick, so they're gonna stay nice and straight forever. Also worth noting that it's the same setup, front and back, so getting pads for these brakes is gonna be super easy, as well as replacing rotors if you ever need to ever. Let's take a close look at the electronics, starting with the rear hub motor. This is a 500 watt nominal motor that peaks at 750 watts. The nice thing with a little motor like this is it's perfectly safe to ride anywhere in America. And as you guys saw, this thing spins up to 25 miles an hour. So this bike's gonna be perfectly legal to ride on any bike lane, any bike path, in any city in America or Canada. Powering that motor is a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery. And to charge that battery, you get a 2 amp charger that's UL certified. This UL certification is really important to get if you don't want to fire in your garage. And here's a close up of the Macfox hydraulic disc brake levers. They kind of look like the DY Island, but just rebranded. And they've got an adjustment here so that you can set the bite point for the lever. It's not going to bring the lever in or out. It's just going to bring the bite point closer to your handlebar, just like this. Okay, what do you guys think? Pretty sick looking bike, right? Let's take it outside and see if it rides as good as it looks. Good morning, YouTube. Today's the first ride on the Macfox X7. Now we're gonna figure out exactly who this bike is for, because from what I can tell already, just by the build quality and the overall package from what you get, I think this bike is gonna be perfect for 2 types of riders. Exactly who those riders are, we'll find out throughout the ride. And guys, another thing, I'm not here to sell you this bike, right? If this bike is perfect for you, you'll find out through the tests that I'm gonna show you. They're gonna be black and white. You're gonna see if the bike can climb hills, if the bike can stop, the true top speed, acceleration, all of it will just be black and white. I couldn't bullshit you if I tried. And I'm not here to do that. I'm here to ride this bike with you so we can find out exactly if it's the right bike for you, right? These reviews are for you, not me, for you. So let's get going with our first test. Right, so I've got a full battery. Let's do our hill climb. I always start right here at my fire hydrant, and up ahead, there's a big, long, 15% grade hill. I'm gonna go throttle only, and right now I'm in pedal assist number 3, which is the most amount of power the bike can get. For reference, I'm about 195 pounds with all the gear on. We got to about 17 miles an hour before the hill started. Okay, so far we're just maintaining about 11 miles an hour, 12 miles an hour, not too bad. Now guys, this is not the super powerful, super fast type of, electric motorcycle I'm used to reviewing on the channel, right? This bike is specifically made for a certain rider. Climb the whole hill, no pedaling required. It didn't do it the fastest, it didn't do it, pushing me back into the saddle, but it still got up there and I didn't have to help it one bit. Let's move on to the next step. So let's head over to Test Drive Island. We'll unlock the bike, find out the true top speed, take some beauty shots, and just find out what this bike's all about. Let's go. But just before we take it to Test Drive Island and check out the top speed, let's see how quickly it can accelerate. I always start right here at my lamp pole, and up ahead there's a driveway pullout. A lot of the fast bikes will hit 20 miles an hour before that driveway. Will the Macfox X7? I don't know. This thing's not designed to be a speed demon. So let's see what it's got in the cells. You guys ready? Let's go throttle only. I'm in pedal assist number 3. 3, 2, 1. Go. It's a really nice, like, smooth and tame pickup, right? Like, it's nothing will slam you back into the seat. There you go, 18 miles an hour. The more I ride this bike, you know, for the short little while I've been on there, it just seems like it's just a bike that's perfectly tailored to either a new e-bike rider or maybe even, you know, a kid, right? You got the low standover, nice, easy, tame, low power, nothing crazy for speed. Okay, new bike. Before we go top speed and figure out exactly what it's got in the cells, let's see what the grip is like. And these tires seem like they're perfectly suited for the road. Like they're big, thick, chunky tread. And you know, this seems like the type of tire you'd have a really hard time getting a flat on. I mean, maybe if you know, were really unlucky and got, you know, a screw right between the tread. But like, look at how thick this tread is. It's insane. There's about a half, or maybe a quarter inch of actual rubber on top of the actual tire. That's awesome. And these are huge too, 5 inches in the back and 4.5 up front. Big, thick, lots of air volume. You can air them down to get extra comfort. Like these tires are designed for the road. So let's see what kind of traction we can get from them. I'm gonna get going probably, what, 20 miles an hour, and then we're just gonna lean it over for some S-turns, see what kind of grip we can get. Okay, here we go, 20 miles an hour. Oh yeah. What a fun bike, man. Man, do I wish I had something like this when I was a teenager. This would have been awesome. No complaints. This bike was designed to do this. Tons of grip, tons of stability. Like, it just feels grounded, right? And there's no wobble. Everything is just perfectly tight on this bike. Man, I'm pretty impressed so far. What a sick looking bike. You know what I mean? Like, what a cool time to be alive. If you're you know, 13 to 16-year-old kid and you end up with one of these, I mean, how cool is that? Time to find out what the top speed is on this thing. Now I've got a full battery right now, and this thing has 3 different power modes, or pedal assist modes, however you want to call it. So let's go through all of them and find out if they limit you to certain speeds, right? So right now I'm in pedal assist, or power mode number 1. Let's go throttle only and figure out what we get. You guys ready? Let's go. Let's start our GPS here. So 10 miles an hour in pedal assist number 1. Let's go to pedal assist number 2. A little more power. I'm gonna guess it's gonna top us out at around 20 miles an hour. This bike's so smooth. You know, I love smaller or lower standover bikes. 18 miles an hour. I was off by a little bit. And then let's go to pedal assist number 3. 21, 22, 23, still picking up a little speed, 24, 25 miles an hour, and yeah, it's kind of leveled off at 25 miles an hour. Not bad. And like, it's super easy, it's manageable. I'm used to riding bikes, but I'm sure there's lots of people out there that this is gonna be their first e-bike, right? And having a bike that does 40 miles an hour is probably not the best idea to get for that type of person, right? You probably want to start on something like this. This is actually really nice. Let's keep going. So I don't know why you would, but a bike like this does have a drivetrain, right? Well, not much of one, right? There's just basically a chain tensioner here in the back. It's a hardtail. It's as simple as it gets. You get a nice, thick, big gold chain. Imagine pulling up to your high school on a bike like this, right? Like, this is sick. You got pegs in the back. You can carry your friends on it. Tons of room on the seat. Anyways, let's check out the pedal assist modes. So in the case that there'd be a catastrophic event, right? You lose your battery or you lose all power for whatever reason, right? Not saying that it would happen, but if such an event was to happen, or you seriously, you know, maybe forgot to charge your e-bike, got out there and then just ran out of battery, let's see what this thing's like to pedal without any power. I'm in pedal assist 0 right now, so it should give me, nope, oh my God, this is not good. Oh, okay, anybody who's considering buying this bike, charge your bike. Don't get caught riding this thing without any power, because it sucks. There's no gears back there, right? So there's no granny gears, just one single speed back there. And man, it's not the best to pedal. So let's go up in pedal assist modes here, getting a little bit of power. And again, right, cuts us off at about 10 miles an hour. Let's go pedal assist 2. Okay, pedal assist 2, I can still kind of pedal, right? Like I'm not ghost pedaling, which is pretty cool. But as soon as I go up in mode, there we go. Now I'm ghost pedaling. And I'm sure it's just gonna take us up to our 25 mile an hour top speed. We go 24 and 25. Yep. Perfect. There's no surprises with this bike. There's no quirks. There's no nothing. It just works exactly the way it's supposed to. It's simple. There's, you know, no shifters, no derailleur, no nothing. You just get on and go, right? I mean, this to me feels like the BMX of e-bikes, except you've got nice big fat tires to make the ride super comfortable. You get a front suspension fork, a big long seat to put your friend back there with some pegs, and some hydraulic brakes to, you know, keep it safe. Come on. Okay, so while we're out here testing the pedaling and throttle and top speed and all that stuff, let's see how responsive these controls are, right? There's two ways of getting power from the bike. Either you're gonna be pedaling or you're gonna be throttling, right? So let's see. Usually e-bikes will be designed to be better operated with pedaling or the throttle. Rarely do you get a bike that's good at both, right? So let's see. So I'm in pedal assist number 3 right now, kind of going about 10 miles an hour. I'm gonna start pedaling now. So it's just a little less than 1 full revolution, which is good. I mean, it's not the most responsive pedal assist sensor, right? But to me, especially for the type of rider this bike is geared towards, having a cadence sensor that, you know, doesn't register right away is a lot more safe to me, because you're not gonna, you know, by mistake hit the pedal and then the bike will take off on you, right? Like you actually have to intentionally pedal a full rotation in order for the bike to start giving you power, right? Which to me, I feel is a lot safer. Okay, let's turn around and let's check out this throttle here. First thing I'm gonna do is just see how responsive the throttle is. Like how can I control the power, right? Because some throttles are just on off, right? And that might be a little bit tricky for a new rider. So I'm in pedal assist number 3 right now. I'm just gonna crack the throttle. Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'm just getting like a tiny bit of power right now. Super easy, super slow. I'm going less than 10 miles an hour in pedal assist 3, right? If I want to crack it a little bit more, there you go, a little bit more. And if I want all the power, all the way down, easy. And can you guys hear anything? A little bit, right? It's not like those metal reinforced gear motors from Hentak that are just screaming at you. It's just like, I can barely hear the motor. I hear the wind going by my ears a lot louder than I hear the motor. And if you're just coasting, the tires don't make any noise. It's not like those annoying knobby tires that are just wah on the pavement. Man, this bike's pretty slick. Okay, here we go.
So while we head over to set up for the brake test, I really want to give you guys my first initial impressions on the new Macfox X7. Now, I should start by letting you guys know the options you have, right? I mean, we went over a little bit in the studio, but they do make this bike in 2 different sizes. Whoa, look out, squirrel. Ooh, that was close. Bro almost got unalived. So like I was saying, there's 2 different sizes for the X7. There's the X7 regular, like the one I'm on right now, right? This one's designed for a rider up to about 5'9", right? That's what they say on the sizing chart. I'm 5'9", and I love this form factor. I love being able to put 2 flat feet on the ground. I love a low standover. It's easy to get on, easy to get off. If you're stuck at a stop sign or a red light, you got both feet flat on the ground, easy. You know, you've got full control of your bike. I love being low to the ground. But if you're taller than 5'9", or you know, throughout the time that you're gonna have the bike, you are gonna get up there. They do make an L, right, an X7L, which will have a little bit higher standover. I believe it's, you know, maybe 3 or 4 inches higher, right? So whatever you fit best on, they do have 2 different sizes for 2 different body types, I guess. And they also have 2 different options for battery, right? So the one I'm on right now is just a single battery. It's a 13 amp hour battery. And from my experience, a 13 amp hour battery should get you, if you're only doing throttle only, right, should get you anywhere between 13 to 20 miles, worst case scenario, right? I know they say a ton more on the website, but come on guys, I mean, let's be real, right? A 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery when you're just using throttle only, when you're in the real world, right? You're not a 100-pound rider riding downhill only with a big tailwind all the time, right? There's gonna be hills, you're gonna be accelerating sometimes, and you're most likely gonna be riding this bike in power mode number 3, which is probably the funnest and fastest, right? So let's be real. I think worst case scenario, range today, we're probably gonna get maybe close to 20 miles, which is still a pretty good distance, right? If you're buying this bike to commute to work or commute to school, get to your job, go do some after school activities, right? I mean, this is plenty of range. But for the odd case, 20 miles is not enough. You can double it by getting the dual battery version. Not only that, but they give you 3 different color options. I've got the all black version right now, but they do make a really clean blue color as well as like a cream. It's not like clean white, it's kind of like a tan or a cream color. So you get options there. If you're buying it for both your kids, right, and they're not gonna have the same bike, which is nice. But getting back to what I kind of want to talk about is my first impressions on this bike. You know, I love fast bikes. I love bikes that accelerate a ton. You know, I love little electric motorcycles, right? And this feels like the gateway to those types of bikes. If you're buying this bike as a new e-bike rider, you've never ridden one before, and you just want something to cruise around, interested in going 40, 50 miles an hour on a bicycle, right? You want to follow the laws. You want to get something that's perfectly legal on any street, in any city, any state, any country out there. This is 500 watt motor that peaks at 750, right? Top speed was what, 25 miles an hour? Easily legal anywhere you go. And it's manageable. It's very easy to just get on and learn. I'm getting good vibes on this bike, to be honest. The other thing I like is that everything on this bike is just buttoned up, right? There's nothing that rattles, there's nothing that shakes on the bike. You know, maybe if we take it onto some rougher gravel or maybe into the grass, you might hear the pegs in the back a little bit, but that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to rattle on this bike. There's a front suspension fork, there's no rear suspension, there's no derailleur, there's no nothing back there, right? I mean, you get lights, you get a throttle, it's legal anywhere. I have no negatives to bring up. Actually, you know what? I've got one negative so far. It doesn't have fenders. That's my only negative. But take it from me, riding an e-bike in the rain is no fun. It's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, right? Take the bus. If this is your only mode of transportation and it's raining, leave your e-bike at home, keep it safe, keep it dry, take the bus or get an Uber, right? Or ask mom and dad for a ride. Here we go with the brake test. Here's the marker I want to stop by, and up ahead here is our first marker. I'm gonna go top speed. I'm gonna try to go top speed, 25 miles an hour with the Macfox X7 and slam on the brakes. And hopefully 20 feet is enough distance to come to a stop. Now I've got a lot of confidence. I've got some really decent feeling hydraulic disc brakes. These are 180 mil rotors. I've got very big, thick, meaty tires that should grip the ground very, very well. But I've been fooled before. So let's get over there. I'm gonna go back quite a ways because this bike takes a while to get up to top speed, right? It's not a crazy accelerating bike. So let's go back as far as I need to get to top speed. And then we're just gonna go head on into the brake test. Okay, let's turn around right here. You guys ready? Let's get going. Now I'm not gonna pedal because it's not gonna help this bike go any faster. Okay, here we go. 20 miles an hour, still picking up some speed. 22, 23, close enough. And brake. Oh yeah. Easy. Even if I was able to take this thing to 25 miles an hour, it would have easily stopped within 20 feet. Everything on this bike just seems so well put together, right? For the type of rider it's designed to be for, I think this is as good as it gets. Right, so we've been on the Macfox X7 for a little over an hour now, and let's talk about bike and ride quality here, like really what I feel on the bike. And let's go through it all. Starting with the grips. The grips are awesome. Big, thick, chunky grips. They remind me of the tires. In fact, I think they even have the same, almost tread pattern on the grip as they do on the tires, which is pretty cool. But they're big, thick. They're not cheap plastic. They're actually soft and grippy, and they have a lock-on collar, which is perfect. There's nothing I would change about these grips. The pedals, they're pretty generic pedals, just somewhere to rest your feet. For a bike like this, absolutely sufficient, right? This is not an off-road bike. You're not gonna be riding this off-road. Your feet aren't gonna be bouncing off this thing. And, it's just a place to rest your feet. The fact that this thing has pedals to begin with is a bonus, right? Because this is not a pedal bike. This is a bike that, kids or new riders are just gonna get on and ride with the throttle, right? That's the type of cruiser bike it's gonna be. Let's talk about this seat for just a minute. This has got to be one of the best and most comfortable seats I've been on in a long, long time. Not only is it long enough to fit two people, plus you get pegs for your passenger to rest their feet, but this is so cushy and it's not too wide, right? Like, look at the shape of it. When you're sitting here, your thighs have nothing to rub on. It's so comfortable. I've been on this bike for well over an hour and there is zero pressure points on this thing. It's really, really nice. The frame has two different sizes, so depending on where you fall on the height chart, if you prefer a low standover on a bike, you get the X7. If you're taller, if you're 5'10" and closer to the 6-foot range, you get the X7L. That's got another couple inches of standover. That way your knees aren't going to be in your throat, right? but the frame itself is bomb-proof. I recommend a hardtail frame for most people that aren't too tech savvy, right? Because having a rear suspension bike just puts more pivots and shocks and things to, you know, more bolts. There's obviously more weight to the bike, but there's more things to maintain, more things to go loose, more things that, you know, could go wrong, more things that could break. And with the size of tires that this bike has, you get that comfort, no problem. Just air down the tires just a little smidge. Yeah, sure, you might lose a few miles of range in the grand scheme of things, but you're gonna gain it all back in comfort, right? And right now, I think these tires go up to about 30 PSI. I've got them at 25, so I think it's kind of like the best of both worlds. I'm still soft enough when I'm, you know, when there's a bump, not to be like rock hard. They still kind of bend and conform to the bumps a little bit, but it's good. It's comfortable, even for a hardtail frame. I think, you know, the mix between the big tires and this really nice cushy seat make for a really comfortable riding bike. And like I was saying, everything on this bike feels really good. There's no red flags like any sketchy welds or anything like that. The bike seems very, very well made, well put together, really good paint. You know, it's a matte black paint or matte blue paint if you go with the other colors, matte tan. And you know, it's just really quality looking bike and feeling bike, right? That's super important. The tires, man, for a bike that's designed to be ridden on the street like this, for a bike that's designed for a newer rider, younger rider, these tires are absolutely perfect. Tons of grip, really, really thick. Like I said, the last thing you want is your kid to have a flat tire midway through his ride and you know, not know how to fix it, right? Having to walk his bike home. These tires are so thick, you'd have to be super unlucky to get a flat tire with these tires. And they've got grip for days, so no complaints with these tires. I absolutely love them for a bike like this. The front suspension is okay. You know, it's not a super high performance front suspension. You know, it kind of feels a little springy, but there's no like harsh bottom out, or there's no harsh top out when it just kind of springs back to the top position. It just feels very tight and well put together. Again, same as the frame, same as the rest of the bike for that matter. And it does exactly what it's supposed to, right? It takes the bumps away from your hands. You get a nice compression dial here all the way to a lockout, and you get preload here on the left, so you can kind of tune this bike to how soft or how firm you want it to run and tune it to your weight, right? Obviously, for kids, you're probably going to want it nice and loose, but if you're a rider that's at the top of the weight capacity for this bike, which by the way is 330 pounds, quite a bit for a little bike like this, you might want to firm up the suspension a little bit, right? What can we talk about next? The brakes. The brakes feel awesome. Very nice hydraulic brakes. The only thing that could be better, bigger, is maybe a bigger rotor in the front, but honestly, for a bike that only does 25 miles an hour, you really don't need it. That would just add weight, that would just add more things, more cost to the bike, and you really don't need it, right? 180 mil, big hydraulic disc brake calipers, good brake levers, that's all you need. And they're adjustable too. You can adjust the bite point with a simple screw right here. You can do it with your hands. You don't need any tools, right? And finally, the electronics. Guys, this is as simple as it gets. You get a nice responsive thumb throttle here. The screen is backlit. I don't know if you guys can tell. Let me see if I can show you. But if I, you know, hide the screen here, I hope you can see that there's light back there, right? So it looks like it's just backlit all the time. So no matter what time of day, if you have the lights on or off, it doesn't matter. It's just gonna stay backlit. I can see it perfectly well. It's black on white during the day, and at night I'm sure it's going to be exactly the same. Really nice, easy to see, and nothing crazy, right? You see your power level, you see your speed, you see your battery. Obviously it'd be nice to get a little bit more information on the battery and maybe range, but it's as simple as it gets. You get trip. Oh, you do get voltage. Look at that. 48.4 right now left in my battery, and I've done 9 miles. So pretty cool. Lots of detail, right? Nothing to complain about here. Obviously, a 13 amp hour battery may not get you the range you want, but there's that second battery option, right? You can either purchase it separately through Macfox's website, or you can order the bike with a dual battery setup right from the get-go. And last but not least, there's that little motor back there. Guys, 500 watts is legal everywhere. Any state, any city, anywhere you go, you're gonna have a legal bike that goes 25 miles an hour tops, right? Maybe a little bit fast. Here in Canada, you might want to stay in pedal assist number 2 to be perfectly legal, right? 20 miles an hour is about 32K. But for hills, if you get a spot where, like this, there's no traffic, there's no one around, you can open it up a little bit and you want to go a bit faster, you can do that, right? It's silent. It's got enough torque to climb hills. There's nothing really to fault here. For the type of rider this is designed for, this is the perfect package, right? There's no other way to put it. Okay, let's go do a little off-roading. Tires are hooking up with the gravel pretty well, actually. They're not off-road tires, right? I think these tires are going to be perfect for the road, but they're doing really well on the gravel. Yeah, super comfortable. I thought this was going to be a pretty rough ride, to be honest, because it's got no rear suspension, right? But these tires are so big and so, what's that word? When it's got a lot of volume, voluminous? I don't know. That's probably the wrong word. But you guys know what I mean though, right? These tires have so much air in them that, you know, ooh, that was a little rough. But most of the bumps, right, the tires will actually bend and, you know, conform to the terrain and take a lot of these little bumps away. Not bad at all. I was expecting much worse, to be honest, but it's actually doing pretty well. I've got no concerns about getting a flat with how much rubber there is on these tires. And I can go anywhere with this bike and there's nothing rattling, right? All I hear is the gravel getting crushed under these tires, and that's it. The pegs aren't rattling, the kickstand isn't rattling. This bike is just so well put together. So far, so good. Range report. So, I've been on the bike for about 2 hours now, and we're at the 16-mile mark. I still have 2 battery bars on there. Mind you, it goes down to about 1 battery bar when I'm using the throttle, just with that voltage sag. And if we go here, so 46.2 volts. So I've got 46.2 volts right now in the battery at the 16-mile mark. So can we squeeze 20 miles out of this battery? Probably. Right? And guys, like I said in the beginning of the video, this is real world, right? This is with a almost 200-pound rider riding real roads, riding hills, and pretty much going throttle only in power mode number 3 the whole way, right? So this is kind of worst case scenario. Right, so $1 million question, who's the Macfox X7 really for? I hope I did a good enough job to highlight the two different types of riders that would fit this bike very well. For one, a brand new rider to e-bikes, right? If you've never had an e-bike before and you're concerned with getting something that's, you know, well built, high quality, and you don't need all that crazy speed that some of these e-bikes are getting nowadays. If you want something that's bomb proof and really like no bells and whistles, right? Like something simple, easy to get on and just go, look at this bike. And number two, right? If you guys are parents looking for your teenager's first e-bike, look at this bike. If I was lucky enough to get something like this that looks as cool as this bike does when I was a teenager, it would have been a dream come true, right? Like the freedom that these bikes give you, you know, go on e-bike rides with your parents, right? Like it would have been so cool to get your friend to hop on the back, right? Like obviously we did it with regular bikes, but you know, it's 2025, right? Like why not get an e-bike to go even further, a little bit faster and with less effort, right? It's all about being efficient these days, right? So if you're a parent that's lucky enough, that works hard enough to be able to afford a bike like this and you're looking for an e-bike for your teenager, come look at this bike. As always, there's a link to Macfox's website in the description, or better yet, if you guys are watching this on your TV, you can scan that QR code with your phone's camera. That'll take you right to their website. It'll guarantee you the best price. Guys, the holidays are coming. You've got Black Friday, you've got Boxing Day, a bunch of sales for Christmas. If you're looking to get this bike for a Christmas present, get it now, because it takes a few weeks to get shipping done and underway. And speaking of shipping, right, if you're in the States or in Canada, you can get this bike ordered. So go check it out, go pick the right size, the right color, the right battery configuration, get your bike and go and enjoy. And if I'm lucky enough to get a discount code, it'll be the first thing in the description. So don't forget to look and don't forget to use that code. It'll save you a little bit extra. And if the Macfox X7 is not the perfect e-bike for you, that's okay. Maybe the bike in this video will be more what you're looking for. I'll see you guys over there.